round 4 in France at the Paul Ricard circuit. We are good to go, it sounds like. Oh, no, we are not. I don't know. We got the message to go, and one of our drivers who actually hasn't turned up just yet is actually turning up. But I don't know what's going on now. This is it's a bit of chaos because there wasn't really. But we are about to get ready, are we? I don't know. We've dropped down to 7, readying up, but that's still half. And clearly, the Dylan in the Haas has decided he's going to be turning up late for this. So clearly that wasn't a very good plan from Dylan. We did give him a chance. We did give him multiple warnings, but clearly he didn't show up. We are back with the usual 2 tonight. Myself and Mr. Alfie for in. So we should be good for a race. The only problem we have tonight is our major title contenders of actually not racing tonight. A lot of our main title contenders aren't here. So the likes of Sonorius King aren't here tonight. They could not make it. Sadly, obviously Sonorius King is a tier 2, but he has helped out for a few in tier 1 as well, because obviously attendance, if you can pay attention to it, but if you pay attention to our levels of racing every week, you would know that we are a bit up and down on tier 1, but we are racing nonetheless this week with a bit of a mixed up grid, really. Not really mixed up, but we have Romeri, if that's how you say it, in the Red Bull, reserving for his first race tonight. We have Atom, who literally joined 5 minutes before the start of this qualifying session. And we've already got rain in the qualifying session. So whoever the first one rallies on track, which we're going to put track map on now, it looks to me like it could be... It's typical, it's Blade, who's actually leading the championship. Could be on provisional pole here, because everyone else is... He's first one round. It depends how... Depends how much we have the rain. So... Depends how much we have the rain going on for this session. But it looks like a good start for Blade, who is our championship leader, by the way. He has a... I will do the maths again, because I did them about half an hour before the race. I completely forgot them already. So... I think it was about... I would say... It was 14 points to Liam, who has not shown up. Liam obviously racing in the AlphaTauri, who's not racing tonight. He hasn't shown up, he's just not racing tonight. And then it's Honorius King in third, who's a reserve, surprisingly, who is 18 points off the lead. Kirby, who's third, who's not here tonight again, he is 22 points off the lead. Oscar's 23 points, who is here. So his nearest rival, basically, Blade, is Oscar, who's 23 points off. The arrest is now been disabled, so that basically means first round probably will get pole position here, and it will be a very boring few minutes towards the end, unless Blade makes a massive mistake. But obviously, Light Golemer's 24 points off the lead as well, so he's in the play. He's in the fray for tonight in case Blade retires to take the lead of the championship but I don't think that will happen. And there's a yellow flag, and it's one of the Red Bulls. I think it's one of the reserves tonight, Romary, who is spun on track. He is reserve tonight. Sadly, Cobb couldn't make it for me. So yeah, the happiest TP of the lot for constructors at the minute is actually Sonorius King, who leads it by 5 points from Ferrari, and that is Coffee Machine's team, with third being, I think that's Leo's in McLaren, fourth being Tom's in Williams, as Atom has now left the session. I think that could be a quick and easy invite because he is mates with Blade, so that could be a quick and easy invite. And then fifth is Mercedes, with Aston Martin 6th, Red Bull 7th, Alfa Romeo 8th, Alpine 9th, and 10th is AlphaTauri. So, first lap done, Blade 35.7, pole position time, and that is probably going to be in a pretty easy lap time as he's 1.3 seconds faster than C. Lopez in the Aston Martin. The winner of Tier 1 last season was Blade, even though I think we only had about 3 races for Tier 1 because it was so poor attendance. But the constructor champions, there was a lap there, it was Daniel, I think, who's gone 4th fastest in the Mercedes. The constructor champions were Red Bull, so that was Light, Gollum, and that was Tom and Blade, funnily enough, who are actually the same team this season. Tom and Blade, as everyone is now setting their lap times, and I think that would really be it for the next 10 minutes. Tom and Blade, actually, same team, Red Bull, and then they're the same team at Williams. So they are sat. Funny enough, I think they're sat. I think I just said they were sat 4th in the constructor championship together this year. Yeah, they're sat 4th. All could change though. We're only on round 4 of 12. So we've still got a good amount of races left. 8 to go after this race. Not even half season distance. Oscar has spun at the chicanes. That's not good for him. Dylan has also spun. Maybe there was collision between the two of them on some sort of laps, but a lot of people not going to get some lap times in. Alfie, what do you think of this qualifying session so far?
Yeah, it's been very weird, as in the rain coming in at the very start of quali.
Can I just say, sorry, everyone is spinning now on the soft tyres. There is no way you're going to get a better lap in. So Blade looks like he's on pole position, because I just saw there that Dash spun, and then straight next to him who spun was one of the Mercedes, and I would say that was Daniel who spun. So both of them spinning at the same location on soft tyres on a wet track.
Yeah. And as I was saying, this quali has been a little weird with the rain first starting, and as Dan has said, people on the softs are spinning quite a lot, and as Atom starts his lap on the intermediates.
I think the only ones that will do laps left are like Gollum, Atom, Dylan and Oscar, because they're also play for that P11. So that's all to play for, so they need to come out and do laps most definitely. And I would assume they would all be on the intermediate tyres, as we've seen 2 people spin at one corner. It'd be very interesting actually to see what the lap time is from Atom on these in the inters, because I think 20 seconds is about. So maybe Romary in the other Red Bull might need to go as well on the inters as outlap for like Gollum, so he's got the memo that he might need to go back out again. But that looked bizarre actually, because that was a purple first sector from Atom. It looked a little bit bizarre. Purple first sector. So maybe, just maybe, Atom may put off something here. I don't know, though. There was nothing in the middle sector, so maybe he will drop off. I cannot remember what a normal lap time around France is, let alone a wet one. But Atom then will finish his lap. It won't. I don't think he'll get there in 10 seconds to the line, but I think it might put some pressure on that P6 a little bit, maybe, if he's going to put some luck in to drive to the line. Maybe P6 can be improved, and it is P6. So yes, the answer to the question, I think Blade has got pole, C. Lopez will have second, RJ Kajere third, Daniel fourth, and Tail fifth. Actually, maybe not even Tail fifth. I think fifth downwards is still up for grabs for anyone on these intermediate tyres. I think Blade is very happy with that lap, and he can stay in the pit lane and save the embarrassment of spinning or crashing. So I think he'll be very happy with that. 9 minutes to go then of the session. The only one on a lap time, Atom has just finished it, but we're going to go to Light Golem then. Light Golem, who has actually looked like he's invalidated his lap already. And he's the only one on a lap. But C. Lopez has just started one, I do believe. Or is he on one? I'm not quite sure. It says he's on one, but maybe he's starting one. Because I don't know where he's at. He's not going to be playing. He's got a 7/10 gap. Right, I think he's starting one. I think a lot of people are starting theirs now. I think Dash is coming around to start his. Tom to start his. We've got to keep an eye on a lot of people here. But the first one rounds of any convenience looks to me, I don't think it's the baseman, I don't think, because he is on an out lap. I think it would be, of any convenience would be C. Lopez, but I don't think I think he may improve, but I don't think it'll just be enough just to try and gap even more to RJ Kajere then. It still looks like it's raining, and obviously that would mean no chance of going out on the soft tyres. So it will literally be a battle for 6th then. Or actually, sorry, let me rephrase that, a battle for 5th then. To see who can basically do the best lap on the wet tyres. So Lopez's first round then, I think it's Dylan straight after. Like literally straight after Dylan. Yeah, it is literally Dylan straight after. And then I'm going to say it's a Ferrari, and my bet it could be Dash. Is it Dash or is it Oscar? It's Dash. Okay, so it's C. Lopez, Dylan, Dash. One of the Mercedes. I'm going to go, is it Arjun? It's Arjun, okay. Just so I know what to change it quickly. But C. Lopez then. I don't think he's going to improve on this lap, so we're going to go straight to Dylan, who hasn't set a lap time yet. And he will cross the line then. Will he be anywhere near that P5? No, it's only P9 for Dylan then, at the minute, in the Haas. Oscar is next. No, not Oscar. I've literally just timed this right. It's Dash. Dash then. Is he going to have anything in the 1:40s? I don't think he will. Straight afterwards will be RJ Kajere. I don't think he will improve in a Wild Williams there. I don't know who that was. No one's improving. It's a Wild Williams. Next, I think it's getting to that stage where it's just getting too wet for anyone to improve, no matter what lap time you set. I thought that was a Haas. I don't know what's coming around next. Not Tom. Let's go for, it's not Blade because he's not on the track. It's one of the Red Bulls, and it's Light Golem who's next. Light Golem then, who is one of the 2 drivers yet to set a lap, will come across the line, and he will set a 1:41.4 and bring it up to 11th. Romery stays 13th with a 42.6. Oscar's an invalid lap time. He has enough battery to go again. And then I think next round would be C. Lopez again. No, it's his teammate, the baseman, who's about to start his lap time. So we've got a little bit of breathing air now, because I think everyone's now going to be chucking it into the pit lane. Or people are either going to be chucking it in the pit lane or just getting some lap times in case it rains during the race. For data. Cheeky move there from Tom, cutting a little bit of the corners there to try and get some time back again. I think Light Golem's literally just done that as well. He's in a rush to get back. Everyone's in the rush back to get back to the pit lane. But one person who's not in the rush to get back to the pit lane is Oscar here, who is on a lap. 4 minutes 40 then of the session remaining. And realistically, this should really be it. We're just going to see what Oscar's lap time is to see if he can get anywhere in that top 10, maybe even press for that top 5. But it's going to be a lot to press that top 5 now because I think the rain is coming down pretty heavily. So I think those intermediates might not be able to get some good laps in as a yellow flag. And I think it's one of the Red Bulls. It's Romery, I would say. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's just them going slow. One of them's actually stayed out, and here's Romery, who stayed out to try and go again. But Oscar then, coming into the final little complex. He will cross the line then. I don't think this will light up the timings. I think this could be a 42, 43. Oh, it's a 41.9. It was actually quicker than Romery. Romery did improve that lap, by the way. He got 41.9. I completely missed that. But just about hits P13. He doesn't get the wooden spoon for coming last. The base man again invalids. So see Lopez's next round. And he is diving into that pit lane. So we're going to go to Atom then, who literally joined 5 minutes before. And he is not going to get any lap times done here. So I will see, Alfie, what is your thoughts on this session again? Is it a bit of a chaotic one? Is it a...
Yeah, it's a bit of a chaotic one for the drivers tonight, seeing as the rain kind of ruined everyone's chances of a faster lap, except Blade, who got out first, timed it perfectly, and is probably... is going to be P1 for the race.
So Blade will start P1 then. So the championship leader, who has a pretty decent championship lead of, I've already forgotten it. I think it was about 18 points, odd points. I need to keep this open at all times because I will forget. Yes, we're only on round 4, but you need to keep it open at all times. 14 points to Liam and 18 to Sonorius. He could double that basically. I think by the end of it he can have a 30-point championship lead and sit in pole position to retain his Tier 1 title for the second season in a row. Blade. Maybe we'll have to give him some more tricky opponents because clearly he's too good, shall we say. Let me have a look. How many championships he's won? What did it say? No, well, which is annoying. He's got 2 wins this season and 2 poles over 3 races. I think Liam won the other race. So yeah, it really is now just a fight to see who can get the other positions. During the break between Tier 1 and Tier 2, Tier 1 and the Tier 1 quality and Tier 1 race, we'll give you a preview for tomorrow's Tier 2 race. Tier 2 is probably... It is our second best division. And a lot of people and a really close races. I think we may have had 3 different winners from 3 races. I can't quite remember. I think Sonorius won one of them. Was it Chazza Plays? No. Prodigy? Prodigy won one of them. Sonorius won the other 2. Who won the other one then? Prodigy. Ah, Will. That was it. Yeah, 3 different winners in 3 races for Tier 1. Can we make it for Tier 2? Can we make it 4 out of 4 tomorrow evening, which should be highly contested. Probably it's definitely our closest league. Tier 1 really is Blade at the minute, but hopefully we can have some close action tonight. But I think the happier of the TPs would be Arjun Kajera, actually, who is a Tier 2 reserve, with his drivers sat 3rd and 4th on the grid. He's a Tier 1 reserve, so he sat 3rd and 4th with 2 Mercedes tonight. I think myself would be a bit disappointed. I think Coffee Machine would be a bit disappointed as well with our drivers, with the two Ferraris of Coffee's teams, that 10th and 13th, and myself, that 12th and 14th tonight. Tom, I think, will be a little bit disappointed with 11th, especially as he came second in last year's championship behind Blade, funnily enough. So he'll be a little bit disappointed with that. I think the Aston Martin TP of Ross Chimp, if he's watching later on in the stream, I know he's got a race right now, but I don't know if it's finishing or not quite soon. Might be. Oh, not bad. Hopefully the stream is still working. Yes, it is. I think he'll be happy with a 2nd and an 8th for his two drivers. I think Leo will be happy with Teo sat in P5. Obviously, he's probably disappointed not to get a reserve. But actually, I was going to say maybe Teo may have actually. That's his best time. I thought he may have improved them. Final one round then would be. Tom's just cutting corners to try and end this really quickly because he wants to get straight into the race. I like your style, my friend. But I think most definitely the happiest TP would be Arjun Kajev, who's a tier 2 reserve and is actually stuck at P3 on the grid. Not tier 2 reserve, a tier 1 reserve, tier 2 racer, and is actually stuck at P3 on the grid, front of the second row, with his teammate P4 locking out the second row of the grid as Mercedes tonight. And as I said, the most disappointed TPs will be myself and Coffee Machine, with 10th and 13th for Coffee, and the 11th. I think 12th and 14th actually was my two tonight. But a long way to go. And as I said, we will quickly preview. We're just going to give a final rundown. 1.3 seconds of the gap between Blade and C. Lopez in the end for the front row. The two Mercedes, RJ Kajere and Daniel, will line up P3 and 4. Tail with P5 in the McLaren, with Atom in P6. Throne Globe P7, 3 Baseman P8. Dylan and Dash P9 and 10. Tom 11th and Light Golem 12th. And then Oscar and Romery line up the back row of the grid. Actually, it was really close between 9th and 12th being 6/10. Really close between 10th and 12th being separated by about a 10th. And 13th and 14th was really close, but separated by a few milliseconds in that as well. So they're really close. And as I said, I will be going through a tier 2 kind of run through for tomorrow, preview in this. By the way, just heads up, that means 15 points championship lead now for Blade, because he gets that 1 point for pole position as well. So, we have for tier 1 tomorrow, we have currently 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 18, 21, and we got a wet race as well. Another wet race. People have been complaining about wet races. They've been coming like everywhere. But another wet race. We have I think 18 drivers set for their seats, and 3 reserves, which is good tomorrow. So we should hopefully, fingers crossed, have a full lobby. There will be another message out tomorrow for reserves to see if they can race, just so we can have some backups as well. I completely forgot Formation app is turned off because there's been a glitch, which I completely forgot about. But it's lights out and away we go for the French Grand Prix. Unexpectedly and quickly. But we are underway, and it's a good start from everyone. Light Gotham takes a slow start at the back. I think he's waiting for collisions. The baseman's up to P6, past Teo. Teo's dropping down a few places, but a great start from Blade and exactly what he wanted from the lead. He now checks out at the front, trying to get gaps, but we're going to go to the midfield because there's nothing happening at the front. But there's Dylan trying to make a move for P6. Round the outside of the baseman, there's 2x2x2. Nearly a contact there from Tom on Dylan. Everything remains clean. Everything remains good. As we have a nice start for everybody, a nice and clean. Yellow flag in sector 2, as soon as I say that, it's cleared now. I think it's the baseman and the Aston Martin, so maybe not a great start from him. But everybody should be picking their way through as Romery goes for a move on Oscar. Can he get it done? Tailed also goes for a move on Oscar and gets that done as well. Atom gets a move done for P4 on Daniel. So that was a nice move from him that was not looked at very much. But Daniel's now fighting back at him again to regroup that P4 down the inside. Can he get it done? A bit of contact, I think, maybe there. Or a big snap, and he's dropped down. Someone's gone massively off. It's Teo, who's slammed into the wall, and he is out of the session. He's out of the session already. On the first lap, Romery is now fighting Dash there for P8. It was quiet, and one of the Ferraris has lost it there as Dash, as we get a virtual safety car. That's going to calm everything down. A second, so we're just going to look over the gaps quickly while we have this virtual safety car. As Light Gollum has chucked it in the pit lane. If you could keep an eye on that, Alfie, I would assume it will be for a wing change. It wouldn't be a straight pit change of tyre now.
Yeah, it is for a front wing change.
Cool. All good. Wing change in for Light Gollum. Not cool for me, TP. But as you know, we absolutely love racing here and love people finishing the race because we keep points. If you finish, you get points. Doesn't matter where you finish. You could finish P20, you get points. You might retire, and you might retire, but if you're classified, you get points. Dylan there overtaking Atom and spinning Arjun Kjaer under a VSC. There were a lot of warnings about this that have come out about this last week.
Can I also just stop you there?
I
did see Kjaer reset the track after that spin or collision.
Yeah, so that would probably be Arjun Kjaer getting a penalty point after the race for that, because obviously resetting the track is not allowed, whether you like it or not. As we're underway again with a 1.3 second lead for the leaders, but it's going to be really coming for this battle for P3, because it's Dylan, Atom, Tom, Daniel, Romery, Throne Globe, Oscar, Dash and Arjun Kjaer all together as the two Ferraris go side by side and Dash and Oscar switch places. But all of that is really close together from P3 to P13. And there's a spin there for Oscar. Arjun Kjaer looked like he got collected. A lot to look at here, and we're only on lap 2. A bit of a chaotic start, and I thought it was going to be a nice and clean start from everyone, especially as it's wet. There's your pit stop strategies again. 2 stoppers will be lap 9 to 21. So we should, if people are wanting 2 stops, we should get some pretty soon. As Dash going through everyone with Throne Globe then. Throne Globe reserving tonight, obviously, because he's a Ferrari driver, but he's going to an Alpine tonight to try and get them some points, because we like drivers. We don't mind people going in different teams if they are signed for a team in Tier 2. Like to see that. But Teo is out tonight. He's our first retirement. We've had collisions already with multiple people. So, yeah, hopefully that's it. And we don't have anything else. Yeah, it looks like Arjun Kjaer did get pushed off there. I want to see in a minute what happened to Teo, because I've just seen on chat Arjun Kjaer did get pushed off. So yeah, we are lap 3 of 27 with a pretty interesting race already looking our way. Not an interesting race for the lead, but an interesting race for that midfield spot and for that P3. The lead looks like it's checked out though. But hopefully we can get some, not hopefully as more people retiring, but there's a move. Throne Globe, 3 baseman. Contact to the spin. Contact to the spin between Throne Globe and 3 baseman. Maybe a little bit of damage for Throne Globe. I don't think he got damage, but contact for the 2. One happy driver. One kind of happy driver because he kept his place, or he didn't lose out to the place, but probably There might be an investigation into that after the race. P10 then. Arjun and Oscar, closest battle, as Light Golem has set the fastest lap on the race on those intermediate tyres that he's stuck on. So he is on a bit of a push here, is Light Golem, and I have actually forgot to put telemetry.
Little fight between Oscar here.
And that is Oscar, and that is Arjun actually moving up a place, I think. No, that was Arjun keeping the place, sorry. I'm pretty sure. I think Oscar went for a move, but couldn't get it done. Dash and Throne Globe still trying to get through and trying to have a battle with each other. Romery is trying to fight down Daniel. It's kind of calmed down, like gapped a little bit. There are still there, and Atom's actually left. So that's again going to be something for Blade to do, to invite him back, as Tom has now got through. So it'll be damage limitation for Atom to when he gets back in, to see how much he can keep going. Unless I can really quickly... Actually, I think you could do that, Alf. Oh, he's back, don't worry. I was going to say maybe you could quickly just chuck him on, but he's back. So the highest battle on track, really, it's not really a battle, but it might come into a battle in a minute. It's this little scrap for P2 coming between C. Lopez and Dylan, and there is a move at the back of the pack. Arjun and Oscar, side by side, out that final corner. It's going to be a drag race to turn one. Who can get there first? Who's got the most power? I'm actually looking at third base, man. Arjun gets there. Arjun keeps the place. If you want to keep an... oh, good drive out of the corner from Oscar. Goes a little bit wide, though. Goes for a move around the outside. Can he get it stick? Can he get it stuck? Contact. And round goes Oscar. Maybe not enough space for Oscar to make a move there. Here we go then, and the battle for P2 is actually heating up a little bit here. So, Dylan is now fighting C. Lopez for that P2 position. There was a little overtake or a little look there from Dylan, but I had to talk about something. But down the inside goes Dylan, the final corner. It's a popular overtaking opportunity, this place at the final corner, and he gets the move. Nicely done. Surprisingly, more ERS is coming out of C. Lopez at the minute. So maybe he might have another look in a minute for that position to come back to him again. I wonder if there's anything coming out of chat at the minute from Teo after that.
As well as Romerio, who, however you pronounce the Red Bull's name, he has picked up a free penalty, 3 seconds worth of penalty.
I'm assuming that's multiple warnings. At the minute, that means absolutely nothing because he will keep that position of P7. But maybe later on to the race, it will drop. So this is surprisingly a really good stint from Light Golem at the minute. It's might be dropping. I know he's at the back of the pack, but obviously he pitted with that new wing and was 20 seconds down from the back of the pack. He's brought it back to 9.8 in about 4 laps. So he probably should be onto the back of Oscar very quickly. And obviously all of these people have got to stop, so he should jump in the pit stops. Yes, he will have to pit stop again, surely, for 2 stop. But if a safety car comes out or it starts to dry up, he's in a prime position. So that's really want to keep an eye out for. Looks like Dylan has actually gapped C. Lopez a little bit, and there's Tom's on the back of that. So that's one to keep an eye out on. But Dash and Throne Globe is where I'm going to stick to at the minute. So Dash as we get our fastest lap again reset from Atom, who's in P5 after a disconnection of 42.8. So we're still not getting into the lap times we had at quali, but we're getting there, shall we say? And I would assume these lap times will be getting far. It looks like it's drying out a little bit. There's a little bit more deep there from Throne Globe. Very deep, because that's gone out of the battle range. So now we will go to the battle for P11 between The Baseman and Oscar. The Baseman, this has been going on quite a while. Baj Kajer's had a say in this as well, but he is now starting to leave these guys a little bit and starting to work on his own race for that P9 spot for Throne Globe, if he can get to that as quick as he can. But Oscar is now trying to fight down the Baseman to get a move, but he's not close enough this time into the chicane. But we can in a minute we're going to see a really good P3 scrap, because it's C Lopez, Tom, and then Atom is actually onto the back now of this group. He's coming onto the back of this group, and if they scrap too much, have a little bit more to battle, 2.3 seconds away is Daniel, so he could come into that. And then if they scrap even more, 3.8 seconds to Daniel is Romilly. So they've got to be careful, these lot, to not scrap too hard, otherwise everybody will be flooding into them. And we can see this group for P3 really bunch up very quickly. Fastest lap just been set for Blade, which is a 43.5, I think it was. So only a few tenths quicker than what we just had, just being saw by Atom. But the fastest lap is the fastest lap, and that should be really getting quicker, these lap times, as the race goes on, hopefully, unless it absolutely hammers it down at some point and we have to get the wet tyres out. Then maybe we might not see the the lap times going quicker and quicker and quicker. But as you can see then, it's now 1.5 separating that 3rd to 5th. So that's coming down. Nothing is really happening overtakes-wise as Romary picks up his second multiple warning penalties of 6 seconds. Still, at the minute, that won't mean anything. He's got 7 seconds to dash. So that would mean nothing at the minute. But if he gets one more, he's in trouble. The Baseman picks one up as well for his first one. 3-second multiple warnings for him. But we are now getting to this battle for P3. C. Lopez clearly brilliant quali lap and hasn't got much race pace at the minute, because he's dropped down from P2 to P3 after getting passed by Dylan, and is getting caught pretty rapidly by Tom and Atom. Obviously this is a really poor time to catch C. Lopez for Tom, because it's in the S section. You're not going to get a move to the final corner. He's been really squiggly just out there. So that means Atom is going to bunch up even more, and we're down to 1.1 separating 3rd and 5th. And now he can start. He's got a whole lap basically now to pressurise C. Lopez, and C. Lopez takes a very defensive line to the outside. He uses a bit of his ERS as well, and nothing is going to come that way. So now it's better. Realistically, if you can get a good exit here, you can have a go, but it's not really going to come, I don't think, here, because it's not close enough. It's going to have to come down the chicane, down the straight, as Dylan picks up his first penalty in second, 3-second multiple warning, but that would not matter at the minute because he's got a 6/10 difference to C. Lopez. But obviously we are a long way to go. We haven't even hit half race.
As Oscar makes the move on the 3 Bassman.
Oscar has made a move on 3 Bassman for P11, but we're going to stick to this battle for P3 here, because there's now 8 tenths separating 3rd to 5th. This is going to become really interesting very quickly. ERS usage for C. Lopez to try and defend into the chicane. It's not going to come. It's mainly been coming. If it's been coming, it's been going to happen right after the chicane. If it's going to happen, it's going to be here. It's a good exit from Tom. Here we go. He gets a good drive. He's going to have to go around the outside the long way on C. Lopez. Probably that's where you want to be. C. Lopez cuts him off. It's all fair. And that's going to be stuck. He's going to be stuck there for a bit. Maybe not, because he's going to go for a move here. No, he's not. He's going to back out of it, is Tom. But he's going to try and put C. Lopez off and try and push him out a little bit. And has a little bit. Maybe there wasn't enough room there. But now Tom trying to go around the outside of C. Lopez. All this time, Atom's there. Atom touches the rear wheel of Tom, spinning around. And that's Tom dropping to P6. And a mistake for Atom, that would surely be looked at with the stewards after the race. So we knew that was just going to happen at some point. It looked very rowdy between the two of them as we get our first lap time into the 42s, I think. So I think we'll be lapping 43s, have we? No, our second lap time, a few lap times are in the 42s now, but we're going into the 41s in a minute. That's to keep an eye on as well, the lap times from everybody. But so basically, that was going to be really heated up. Atta went for a move, touched the rear of Tom, spun him round, and that probably would be looked at and maybe a penalty for Atom after the race. Whether it will be a penalty point penalty or a time penalty, I think that would be most likely be a time penalty after the race, but that's if he puts a ticket in. Remember, for these Tier 1 guys, just a heads up, 12 o'clock tomorrow lunchtime, 12 PM UK time, the tickets must be put in unless there is a specific reason why you cannot, as Dash picks up a 3-second time penalty multiple warning. And if any Tier 2s are watching this race, to see what Tier 1 is like, hello to you guys. And remember, 12 PM on Sunday lunchtime, UK time, is when you've got to put in your tickets. Just for a quick reminder, there will be lots of reminders throughout the evenings after your races, just so you have the most chance to get dirty drivers, the penalties that they may deserve, or any incidents that may have an incident that they want to look at. For us to look at. But that's probably our second, maybe third incident we might have to look at tonight. Sorry, I just got a message. That's a annoying person who is a free agent that has not done his time trials yet for a while and has called us console gig. But anyway, who cares? Atom, final corner, one of the hotspots for overtaking this race, gets the move up into P3, as now C. Lopez be hunting him back down for another move, and Daniel is at 1.8, he's coming to that gap to close it down a little bit. So yeah, this could be very interesting for P3 soon. Clearly people are going for one stops. I think there was a move in that midfield, by the way, just quickly. I think it was thrown globe up into P8 on Dash. That's one to look out for, Alfie, because there could be an overtake going here for that.
Yeah, they are going side by side.
Dash side by side. Yeah, I've just caught it. And Arj Kajer and Oscar are both there as well. And the baseman is nearly there. Tom picks up a penalty multiple warnings. Oscar down the inside. Poor camera angle we've been given. Lovely TV broadcast as we're going to go to TV pod just to have a quick look to see if we can get any better angles on this, because we have really poor decisions. It's just like the Monaco GP TV people, you know, as Durham Globe looks like he's got that move done a little bit and he's gapped Dash a little bit, because Dash went for a little bit of a interesting move. And if you look at the back of Arj Kajer down the straight, he's actually gone for a move on Oscar. Can he get it done at the chicane? No, he can't. If you look at the back of Arj Kajer going back that straight, the sun is coming out a little bit. If you can see it, the sun is coming out. But that could be interesting at a later date. Can I just say also, Daniel's picking up a penalty, that's what I was going to say, but he's picked up a 3-second multiple warning in 5th. Can I just say, that battle for P8 could be our prime time option soon, because that battle for P3 looks like it's going to be done soon. So this looks like it's going to be our prime time battle. But Tom is coming into the pits. So if you keep an eye on Alfie, because I want to see if it's soft tyres for him or if is it wet. I think it's still raining, so I don't think it'll be soft tyres. But maybe a P6 gamble might come his way, as the Ferraris are really close together. Yeah, this is going to be our prime time options for battles.
It
we have
is new
P8.
intermediates. New
intermediates, that is probably expected. But the sun is about to come out. It's interesting to see where he will come out as well, in terms of Light Golem. Because Light Golem is right there, and Light Golem is actually past Tom. So that's P6 basically. Down to P13 is where you would be. This is really interesting now from P7 down to P13, because they're basically bunched up. They're basically bunched up. So from P7 to P13 is huge. And there could be crashes coming anywhere very quickly, because we've seen people have been struggling as the Ferraris are going side by side now. I don't know if Coffee is watching the TP for these two, but he must be a bit nervous seeing them fighting together in case there's any collisions. I think if any TP was watching their two drivers were fighting, they would be really nervous. I think one of the driver of the day shouts is I know he hasn't had a great qualifying. It's like Gollum at the minute because in 10 laps he's cut 20 seconds. That's 2 seconds a lap as we get a pit stop, and that is Dylan. Again, if you could keep an eye on that, Alfie, because I have got the rest of it at the minute. I would assume again it'll be intermediates because it's still raining, but maybe he wants to go for a gamble. I don't think he will.
No, it's the intermediates.
Intermediates. I think he may just lose out to Romery here on the pit exit. We're going to quickly flick to him as he's coming out now. Romery passes him, and I was right just about, and down to 6 goes Dylan. But he's probably going to try go for an undercut here on Blade, and Blade will be in the next lap surely. My question is, who is the first one in this midfield pack from 7th to 13th? 7th to 12th base, 7th, actually, we've got 7th to 11th. That's basically where it is. To pull the trigger and box. Because I think once one of those comes in, everyone else will be following pretty soon. But as you can see, there's about... Oh, mistake there from, I think it's
Ferrari's having a
collision.
collision.
Went a bit wide. Oscar had a little gap. Couldn't get it done. There's a lot to watch out for that on Alfie. So Alfie, if you can keep an eye on towards the back of that second pack. Like Gollum has got past the 3 baseman. We saw it because the camera work didn't change quickly. If you could keep an eye onto that second kind of group. I'll keep an eye on Throne Globe, Dash, Oscar, and Arjun. If you can keep on behind that. That would be good. 3 baseman has just been saw getting past. Actually, I'm going to go to P5 because Dylan is now going for a move on Romery. Yes, it's not technically for because Romery hasn't stopped. But collision could come with that. Actually, if you can go to Blade, that'd be nice. Yep. I'll go back to this big, huge battle from 7th to 13th. Blade will be coming into the pit lane now. Where will he come out? My bet would probably be around P5. Maybe a bit earlier. And Daniel as well is coming into the pit lane, so keep an eye on that one as well.
As Blade
Oscar gets
pits
past
for intermediates.
Oscar and Dash side by side. Oscar and Dash side by side. Will there be a... There's collision! I called it coming at some point. They were really fighting each other. It's just a little touch on the rear and the spin. We will rejoin at the back, and there's another collision. It's Tom and Arjun. Tom has touched Arjun around. It actually helped him to carry on again. But 2 collisions in the space of minutes. Like Gollum was getting through, and a lot of people are coming in now. So this should be very interesting on the pit exit. Dylan comes out P4, Daniel P5. Like Gollum can't quite jump him. But a lot of people are coming in. Their stops in that midfield. But 2 collisions very quickly. And surely 2 more that might be looked at. Penalties. I think everyone has chosen intermediates at the minute, which is respectable. Blade has come out P3, so that undercut from Dylan has not worked. So I think we're looking for Atom, Lopez, Arjun and Oscar the extra stop. And obviously, like Gollum has stopped way before everyone else. He stopped on lap 2. So it'll be very interesting to see where he would come out. And obviously it'll be it's a very bold strategy from him. Sun looked like it was coming out earlier on, but maybe it's come back in again. Maybe, just maybe, we might see a bit of dry weather towards the end of the race. Atom on that race leader at the minute is pitting. The same as seeing Lopez. So Blade should get that again. I'm expecting intermediate, so there'll be no need for that. It's just no need to look. It would just be a quick look where he would be coming out the pit lane, and what the gap is. It's actually it's not really massively worked for Dylan. Dylan set a fast lap 41.3. So we're about to come into what the quali P5s were setting soon. It's actually worked out for Dylan because the gap was about 5 seconds. It's now dropped to 1.5. Arjun is in the pit lane as well. So Dylan is... Atom is out the pit lane, and so is C. Lopez. So there's no moves for Daniel, but he has closed the gap. As now Tom looks like he's going to go for a move on like Gollum. And there's nothing there. Romery's got past Arjun in the pit lane. And I think Throne Globe, Dash and 3 Baseman will join them going through. So the only one yet to stop is Oscar. So keep an eye on Oscar when he comes in. And everyone stopped. And there's contact. It looked like it was Tom again. Again, I've got TV pod for some reason. Oh, no, I haven't got TV pod. I've got broadcast, but it's a poor angle. It looked like a bold move from Tom. It wasn't on Couldn't get brought on here, sadly, but maybe, hopefully, like, couldn't have had that, because it looked a bit naughty from Tom, unless there was, was an incident. But we are sat about 12 to go, and the best battle being on track is this one for P4. C. Lopez and Daniel. This has been going on for a while, because obviously C. Lopez lost out to Atom. Then he had Tom on the rear. Atom accidentally spun Tom, and then Atom had got past C. Lopez, and now Daniel's been closing that gap and managed to close it enough to try and get a move on C. Lopez here. So obviously TP is on this one. We're looking out for I thought it was a bit of contact there, but it's actually the corner. Bit excited. TP's here. There'll be Oscar 36930, by the way. Oscar's now actually in the pit lane. But the TPs to look out for here, who'll be nervous, are Rush Chimp, who's got a race, and RJ is actually CP13, who's reserving tonight for his other driver, Kirby, who is doing quite well in the championship. So, yeah. I can just say, Dylan is putting off a really good stint on these second tyres. Even though he's got superior ERS as Blade, that could be really close. Very, very, very soon. I'm going to have a look at Atom here. Still the same as a few laps ago behind the clouds. Yellow flag sector 1. It looks like it's something to do with Arj, Kajera and Oscar. And yes, it is. I think it's just a bit of contact. Both spinning. Both rejoining. All good. No safety car VSC needed. Daniel picks up a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. So that's, I think, his second. But we're not going to look at penalties until the end. Or not the end of the race, but about lap 25, 26 is what we're going to be looking at for penalties in that sense. But the mainly battles we're going to look at here, or keep an eye on, is that one for P, obviously the race lead. And we've got one kind of brewing up. We've got a big one brewing up actually here now, between C. Lopez, Daniel and Tom for P4. And that's the one I might choose at the minute. We're going to have a, to be honest, these gaps are still, it's 1.7 between those three drivers. As Light Golem finally comes into the pit lane then. Dash picks up a penalty for multiple warnings. But Light Golem, second stop, in he comes. We're just going to keep an eye on that where he comes out. Just for reference, obviously about 20 seconds earlier on he managed to gap, so in 10 laps. So he's got another 10 laps again, basically, to get another 20 seconds if he can. But 10 to go then. With a battle for the lead, a battle for P4 that looks naughty, and a driver doing a two-stop strategy with fresh tyres, who's come out P10, and in the first stint managed to get 20 seconds. And contact as soon as he comes out of the pit lane. It's the Baseman in the Aston Martin. And I think that could be wing damage as well for the Baseman, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look. Was it damage? I don't think it was. But contact on the pit exit for Light Golem. Maybe another one to look at as well for the Stewarts after the race. But this one for P4 is where I'm going to keep my eyes on now. But I was going to keep an eye on for that battle for the lead if the gap drops. But instead of second, it's been what it has been recently. But C. Lopez, Daniel and Tom all together, it's about 1.4-ish, 1.3, 1.4 separating those boys. Maybe, just maybe, we might have another battle. Hopefully Tom doesn't get spun this time, because I want to keep it clean, want to keep it really hard racing. I want to see some brilliant overtakes from those drivers. But C. Lopez, we're going to have a quick look at, keep it interval, but we're going to have a quick look at who's jumped to those places. Dylan up 7, Romery up 7. He'll major 2. 5 for Tom, 5 for, I don't know, not 5. But the major 2 is up 7 for Romery and up 7 for Dylan. So good races for them at the minute. 6/10 now is that battle for the lead. So that is really coming to Dylan maybe in a minute, but we're still looking at his 4th place battle, because they are really tight now. A second is separating that those 3 drivers together. we could see some overtaking happening really soon. But you have to keep an eye on that top left-hand corner to see what that 6/10 of Dylan and Blade will drop down to. It's really looking really feisty now as Dylan. He has really chimed up these intermediate tyres on the second stim. And he really looks like he's going to go for a move. 3-second penalty dash IQ. But we're going to move away. It goes to about 3/10, 2/10. And then goes back up again. But we're going to look now. We're going to go away from this P4 battle. We're going to look for this battle for the lead. We're going to really chime it up. And we're going to see what happens. Alfie, if you keep an eye on that P4 for me. If anything happens in that.
Yep.
Obviously, I will change if any moves happen. Unless they're not side by side for the lead as well. But the lead now is really starting to heat up. Will we see Blade? He's going to extend the championship lead no matter what.
Bit of contact between Tom and Daniel there.
Contact between Tom and Daniel, you've heard. For that P5 battle, Tom is still there. And we're going to go to Tom actually and Daniel because they are really close together. Closer than this front group. This front pair, I should say. Not group, a pair. And now it's dropped off Tom. I think may have picked up some wing damage from that collision. I'm not too sure because he's just dropped massively to 1.5 in that chicane at the first two corners. But he's now starting to come back up closer to it. Daniel may want to have a go at C. Lopez before Tom goes at him. But C. Lopez is doing well to keep that gap the way it is. 2 seconds is what that gap is between those three drivers. But we are now going to this lead pair. Dylan in the Haas. Blade in the Williams. Yes, Mum?
Dylan here trying to send it down the inside.
Dylan trying to send out the inside of the final corner. I just had to go and do something. I'm going to have to go and do something in a minute, but I'm going to want to keep this eye on this battle for the lead. And I'm going to go and really quickly go and do something, but it's going to be really close now for Dylan and Blade. The pair at the front are now starting to have a go at each other. And there could be some overtaking between the two of them very soon. Very, 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 very soon. So, we are looking at the lead. This is your front pair. TP for Williams. Tom in 6th. TP for Haas. Sonorius King. Blade. 2 race wins already this season. Of the 3 races, Dylan looking for his first win and looks like he might get his first podium definitely unless there's a crash between the two of them. Will it be 3 race wins of the 4 for Blade, or will it be a first race win for Dylan and the Haas? Will it be Haas extending their will extend their championship lead in Tier 1 a little bit more? But will it be we're looking at the front group looking really tight. The front pair looking really tight. Blade, 3 wins from 4 looking at it at the minute. Dylan, first win of the season. He looked like he's going to get his first podium, but will it be a first race win of the season for him? It looks like a first podium. First race win is the pressure on. 2 seconds is still that gap between the P4 and P6. C. Lopez looks like he's managing to hold that gap pretty well. I thought Blade looked like he was going to pretty much fly away with this, but maybe I'm completely wrong. Because Dylan has had he's about 5 seconds from that pit stop. He's managed to gain 3/10 in the pit stop and the other 2 seconds on track. He has a penalty, Dylan, though, which is what I'm worried about. Which is the only thing that I could see him overtaking Blade and stopping from winning the race. Yes, Blade might make a mistake and get himself a penalty as the pressure's piling up on him now. You never know. Maybe Dylan might play some dirty tactics, push him out wide a little bit. Try and get a penalty for him for extending track limits. Give him his warnings. You never know. He may pick up penalties after the race for it. but you never know. It might be just hard to hard, wheel to wheel racing, no further actions, and maybe just a annoying penalty that's come up on the game. You never know. He might want to do that. Oscar and Throne Globe is coming up, but Oscar has now picked up more penalties. Here we are, penalties then, with about 5 laps to go in a minute. Dylan with 3 seconds, Daniel 6, Tom 3, Ronell 12, Throne Globe 3, Oscar 6-9, Fee Baseman 3. So there's going to be a lot of penalty changing as well, especially for that P7. Yellow flag sector 2, and it's Tom. Tom has left the session. Something's happened to him. He's got no front wing. He is an AI, and a safety car has come out. Everyone will be diving into the pit lane for these set of inters. A safety car has come out on track here. Everyone's going to be bunched up. The people with penalties will be right close together. But we have a safety car, and the race is back on for everybody. I'm going to have to go and do something, but I'll be going to try and be back for the restart. I'll be back as quick as possible. Alfie, you're in charge. Don't mess anything up.
And as everyone is going in for a pit stop for new intermediates. Romelu has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Everyone is on the intermediate tyre. Terje, 5-second penalty for speeding at the pit lane. And Atom is P1 at the moment, but Blade did pit, as well as Dylan as well. As Dash is serving a time penalty. I'm not sure. And as Blade overtakes Atom is in the pits. Cosmic, don't say that. Don't say that, Cosmic. I do not want Tier 2 to be raining. Everyone still on the intermediates as Romeo, the Red Bull DNFs. Not sure if that was a retirement or if he spun and crashed. Now I'll go over the penalties again. Dylan has a 3-second time penalty. Daniel has a 6-second. Throne Globe has just got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Daniel has a 6-second time penalty. Tom has a 3-second time penalty. Throne Globe, a 6-second time penalty. Oscar, 6 seconds. Kajur, 5 seconds. And the free passman has a 3-second penalty. And as in chat, the Haas and the Aston Martin TP are typing and talking to each other about who is on top. People in chat.
Perfect. I am back out for the restart.
Yeah. I was just going to ask the people in chat to write down who do you think will be winning.
Go for it. Chat, who's your money on to win it? Will it be Blade, Atom, C. Lopez, Night Golem, or one of them winning penalties? Who knows? Put your money down on it. In chat. We'll look at it. You can put anything you want in chat. Obviously, as long as it's not rude. We do not mind it.
Now, Dan, as you were saying earlier on in the race about driver of the day, I reckon Dylan could be up there for it as well.
Good shout. We shall see. We never know. We may trial something new this week. We don't know yet.
As Tom is still ghosted, which I am assuming that he's disconnected.
He's done. I think he's left and he's not going to join back.
Also, one of the Red Bulls DNF'd as well whilst you were gone.
Oh, yep. I didn't see that. Good shout there, Alfie. Romery, the reserve for Red Bull tonight for Cobb. He's gone. As we're going to get another lap behind the safety car, actually. So it looks like a 2-lap sprint is what we're going to get.
But then yet again, could this safety car be bad for Dylan in the Haas, seeing as he has a 3-second time penalty? The safety car bunches all the cars up.
I think it's going to be bad for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think it could be bad for those penalty people. But you never know. It may work out quite nicely for them, you don't know. I thought it was just going to be those leading pair towards the end of the race, but it's going to be the whole field now. Come on, guys, in chat, who's your money on? Put your money on who's gonna win it. Right. Oh!
A little bit of
I
contact.
just saw in the midfield there. Contact. I called it. 2-lap spin. This is the Cosmic Parrot. Had this race. Hope your race went well tonight, mate. Aston Martin TP. His money's put on Blade. He said Blade's going to get it. You don't think Atom will breeze through? Didn't start fighting him in the last 2 laps. He thinks Blade. You never know. Hope your race went well tonight, Cosmic Parrot. Good luck for tomorrow as well for Tier 2. But Blade has gone early. He has gone. There's a no overtaking to the safety car line. Everyone keep their eye on.
As Blade goes down the inside, side by side.
Dylan's gone too early. That's going to be a straight illegal overtake. He's going to have to lift off. You cannot overtake to that safety car line. His moves all round the road. But Dylan's gone for the move round the outside of turn 1 and takes it. Wow. Big shock there. There's some moves all over the track. There's some spinners as well. I think Arjun throw globe has gone off his yellow flag as well. Excuse me. But there's a lot going on in that midfield. But a big shock of Dylan getting the move early done. And now we could have a big scrap here between Blade and Atom, which might become the race-winning move. Atom, who joined 5 minutes before his race start, may win his first race in one of the biggest shocks we've seen in PIR. 5 minutes before the race start, he could win it. You never know. Will Blade hold on though? You never know. We're going to start the final lap in a minute. Light Gollum makes a move on the eye of Tom to bring him up to P6. We are going to get a big scrap surely with these second and third places, because that looks like it will be for the overall net race win, unless Dylan could get about 3 seconds, which will be his first win of the season. And put him in the title fight probably. But Blade is picking up some good points here, so it might not be. But penalties in that midfield as well will come into play. Daniel with the 6 seconds in there. He will drop down to 6th at the minute. But we won't focus on that, because we're going to focus on this leading 3, if you like to call it that. Also gets past Tom. Tom AI, obviously, so that's not a massive move. But obviously penalties will come into it as well. 1.3 at the minute is the gap. 3 baseman Tom, AI for Tom. Nothing big move. Blade looks like he's going to get that race win. He's now gapped at him a little bit. Will Dylan get a 2.5 seconds on this last lap? I don't think he will. Arjun, 11 seconds penalties, gets another few. It looks to me like it will be a Blade race victory unless a mistake comes. Arjun yellow flag turn 1 and 2 in that first chicane. It looks to me a Blade race win, which means, Cosmic, you will be right. Who knows though, because we might see that 6 temps go down very quickly. Very quickly, those 6 temps might go down. Yes, Sonora's King may be happy that he's going to get a driver on the podium. But I don't know, it's really chaotic at the minute. I don't think he's going to get that race win though, which would be really haunting him with those penalties. I think it was a multiple warnings penalty, so I don't think that's going to be removed. I don't know. We'll have a look at race direction in the race to see how many penalties he picked up. Maybe there was a push off track, but he might be able to get one removed if he had 2. But that's it definitely for that. So it looks to me like Blade will take the race win unless he can get 1.2 in the last corners. Atom is left. He's left the session. I don't think that'll be any problems. But crossing the line to take the win on track will be Dylan in the Haas. But the race win on penalties will be Blade to pick up his 3rd race win in the 4 races. And it's a great win for him. Atom will get a P3 on his first race, which is a brilliant drive from him. C. Lopez will pick up a P4 with Light Gollum in P5 after a brilliant recovery drive. Daniel in P6 with 3 baseman 7th. Oscar P8, Tom P9, Throne Globe 10, and Arj Kajer will pick up a P11 as well. But a good race all around for everyone this week. A good scrap at the end with that safety car that came out late. Blade would be very happy to pick up his 3rd win in 4 races and really put his hand, or at least a hand, in the mix for his championship fight to retain his title. But there are a lot of people that have got a really good race today. There's a lot of mentions. Light Gollum picked up driver of the day for the game. We may see a new system for that coming soon. It might be this weekend, it might not. We'll have to get that staff chat looking at that very soon. I'm not going to say what it is, but a good race nonetheless for Blade, and a big reaction from Ralphie Little for that P2 from Dylan on chat for this stream. a big, big, big congratulations to Dylan.
And also
Commiserations,
Dylan has
obviously.
fastest
Race director.
lap.
Let's have a look. How many penalties did he pick up? Quickly. Picked up... I'm going to say it was track limits penalty in the end. 1, 2, 3. I think he picked up more than... I think he picked up 4, because he would have got 5, would have been another one. But Blade takes the victory of Dylan 2nd and Atom 3rd as your podium. C. Lopez 4th, Light Goner in 5th. Daniel 6th, Thea Base by 7th. Oscar 8th, Tom 9th. Throne Globe 10th is your top 10. Oscar 11th. And then our 3 DNFs, I think. I don't think they were classified, the last 2, Romery and Dash. No, they will not, so they will not get points. But that is your lot. Them. A 6/10, a pretty comfortable race win in the end. 6/10 was the gap for Blade for that race win. Driver of the day shouts. There's a lot in there. Big well done to Dylan from that 9th grid slot to 2nd. Well done to him. Like God, once he got driver of the day in the game. 12th to 5th. And Oscar 13th to 8th. But I think the three big driver of the day points. Blade, phenomenal drive. He gapped what he needed to do in the race, and he managed to hold on for the win on penalties. Like Gollum, without P12, ends up P5 with the 2-stop strategy. What's brilliant, especially that first stint, not being biased to Red Bull TP, but that 20 seconds on the first stint was brilliant to come back into the field and get a P5 in the end. And obviously, for me, the third choice, it's got to be Atom. 5 minutes before the race starts, joins the league, and picks up a P3 in his first race. But they're my 3 big pitters for this week. Tier 1 done then for this week. They'll be back again next week for another big race and another big round. But very well done to our podium runners. Congrats to our 3 that I've chosen for Driver of the Day. You may see that this week. Maybe not, but if there's 3 that I've chosen, if you want to do that this week, maybe hint for next week. But a good race. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you back next week for Tier 1. But most importantly, you will see me back on comms tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow night, for Tier 2, which looks stacked at the minute. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. For Tier 1, with myself and Alfie, hopefully next week again. For Tier 1, we'll see you next week. For Tier 2, we will see you tomorrow for their round 4 around France, same track. I hope to see you then.